This is sweet.
There you go. What's up, guys? This is another episode of Off the Post. My name is DJ Redcap Fred Durst. I'm your host. Actually, only two of those things are true. This is another Off the Post. I am your host, but I am obviously not DJ Redcap Fred Durst. We're shaking things up a little bit today. DJ puts a lot of work into getting these shows together, getting them ready, all the prep and everything, and then he comes on and has to be, the host with the most, which he does a great job of. So we're going to let him be a panelist today. He was kind enough to hand over the reins, and trusting enough to hand over the reins. So yeah, I'm going to host the show today. We're going to do a lot of NWSL recap, but before we do that, I know a lot of people know who we are for the most part, but in case you don't, or are new to the show, welcome. So I'm just going to do a couple of introductions. So if you all just want to, when I introduce you, I guess, say a little bit about yourself, anything you want to say, really, what your favorite team is, how you got into women's soccer, any of that. I'm going to start. I'm Courtney. I've been a fan of women's soccer for probably 4 or 5 years now. And if you have anything you want to plug, feel free, because I'm about to do that. I wear a couple different hats over at Final Third Soccer. It's a website, covers U.S. Women's National Team, also NWSL. I handle mostly the Western New York Flash and national team, but I'm fortunate enough to work with a couple great individuals on the site. So check us out, finalthirdsoccer.com. We're on Facebook also. And then you can see on the bottom at Final Third Woso on Twitter. Check us out. Graham's making notions over here, so we're gonna move over to Graham.
Hi, I'm Graham. I'm a videographer with Chicago. Been into soccer since, gotta say, London Olympics. I got really into women's soccer and started following the national team, and since the introduction to the NWSL, I've been a huge fan, so I cannot complain. I'm very fortunate to be working with a great organization as well. So.
Great. We'll go to Jackie next.
Yeah, I'm Jackie. I've been a fan of women's soccer since I was about 8. The '99 final really got my interest. I also write for STL.net, so check me out every week. I have a blog. And I'm a Seattle Reign fan, so let it rain.
All right. Jen?
Hi, I'm Jen. I'm a Spirit fan. I've kind of been into soccer like Jackie since like the 99ers era-ish. But I played for a while and then I stopped playing and now I'm playing again. So there's that too. And the only thing I ever really plug is this show and the rest of the panelists, so there's that.
And we appreciate it.
Yeah.
And last but not least, we're going to go over to DJ because he is also our Spotlight Panelist of the Week. So we're going to get to that later. But DJ, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Wait, well, I'm a Spotlight panelist. Who sold me that? Well, I didn't know about this. Okay. A little bit about myself. Hi, my name's Dwayne Johnson. I'm a panelist. This is my first time on, so I can't wait. This is going to be fun. I got into the game probably about around 2010, 2011. I just went to a friend's house, and then World Cup was on, first game. And I was like, oh, I heard they're pretty good. And ever since, I've been watching. Sometimes in my spare time, I host Off the Post, and I like to read and write about, other events in the women's game and men's game even sometimes. And I'm always on Twitter trolling sometimes, but not as much anymore. Other than that, it's good to be on, guys. It's nice to meet all you guys. You all seem really cool.
Well, thanks, everyone. Before we get into our, our NWSL review, there's a couple of things to want to talk about real quick. This was sent to us, some information, not necessarily women's soccer related, but a good cause nonetheless. So, Empire Supporters Club, so they support the New York Red Bulls. They also put together, I believe, tickets for a section during the last national team send-off game at Red Bull Stadium. So a couple years ago, they started putting together this charity event. It's an outdoor indie wrestling event called Forza Lucha, and it benefits, they pick a different charity. This year, it is for the AIDS Resource Foundation for Children in Newark, and they're looking for sponsorship and donations for their event. I think they're having it's the first week in August. I don't know the exact date. First or second week in August. But essentially they're looking for, if you're an organization, website, individual, you want to sponsor or donate, get in contact with them. They help cover the cost of running the show, prizes for the raffles, indirectly helping the foundation. Also, if you are a business or something like that, you can have, if you sponsor, you can have your name printed on the ring banner, announced as sponsorship for each individual match, or get a plug for their commentary team on the DVD of the show. So if you're interested in that, we'll probably send a tweet out about it, but it's forzalucha at gmail.com. So get in touch with them if you want to help. It's a wrestling event, but it's put on by a soccer supporter club, so it's all kind of related. So check them out. Moving along, I just want to talk about our contest real quick. I know I mentioned it last week, and it's been on social media, but we are giving away a soccer ball signed by a whole bunch of people on the Washington Spirit. I'm going to kick it over. I'm going to put Jen on the spot and tell us some of the people who are signed, who have the soccer ball signed, or who have signed the soccer ball.
Okay. Yeah, the big two obviously on there are Hailey Krieger and Lori Lindsay, but it's signed by a whole slew of other people that are awesome. Mark Parsons, who is the coach of the Washington Spirit, Christine Nairn is on there, Tori Huster's on there, Jen Scowerbo, Kelsey Weiss, who has been phenomenal with the absence of Ashlyn Harris. Let's see, there are other people on there. I know there's other people on there. Hang on, I have it. Estelle Johnson's on there, Megan Oyster. I don't know why I'm looking at this. Here, you people look at this.
Check it out. See if you can make out any of those signatures.
I see my name on there.
Oh, really?
There's Mark. Mark with his little smiley face.
Twice.
Awesome. So we're giving that away. So what you need to do in order to win that is just like our social media, like Facebook, Twitter, comment on stuff, retweet stuff, share stuff. Just be a fan of the page and the show, and we will be probably running this contest for a couple weeks, and then I will be naming a winner, and we will announce that. Contact you somehow if you win. So please spread the word about that and like our social media. Just a reminder that you can join in on conversation with us, hashtag WOSOTalk on social media. Sometimes it's hard for us to look at it during the show, but we're going to try. But if not, if you have a question, hashtag, and we'll get to you eventually, hopefully next week's show, if not this week. Also, I want to say if you're watching the matches this weekend, you don't necessarily have to wait till the day we're on the show. If you have a question, you're watching the shows this weekend, the games this weekend, and you think, man, I want people to talk about this on the next show, feel free to, over the weekend, send us a question or comment or, whatever, hashtag WOSOTalk. So now we'll get right into it. This is kind of a weird week. We had some beginning of the week and midweek games. It's kind of getting that point of the season because of rescheduling, things like that. There's been games every couple days. So we're going to start off with FC Kansas City versus the Houston Dash. And we'll just break in our new panelists and go right to DJ on that.
Oh, I'm so happy. I finally get to say all my no. Oh, this is so exciting. Okay, first things first. FC Kansas City, their pressure, they weren't really allowing the Dash to do a lot early on in this game, I noticed. Holiday and A-Rod were having a real early impact, so that was good to see. That was one thing I think a lot of us were really happy to see, or couldn't wait to see what type of impact the national teamers would have. Holiday was happily playing as an attacking player. She probably couldn't wait to get back there and try to link up with A-Rod as much as she could, and they were just moving the ball downfield at will a lot of times in this game. There was fast chances. They have multiple chances as quickly with their connection. Hailey was getting into it. We thought she was MIA. I mean, I don't even know if she went to Canada because when she went there, she disappeared because we never saw her come up, one time off the bench. So she did actually get a nice ticket and a free trip there, so that had to be good. But other than that, it's finally good to see Hailey actually playing again in a football game. Their final passes, that's one thing I always get on FC Kansas City for, because they always looked a lot of times before the national team was left, actually. They were like one pass away from really breaking through a defense a lot of time. With either Tim Reck or Groom, they would run right out of defense. What's her name? Apple would make the run, and then they would just not get the ball to her. So this time with the national teamers, they're actually getting that final ball through. And it was how their goal was on some great build-up play with Leanne Robinson, Hailey, Holiday. They all showed that they're linking up well already together because they're so used to playing for each other for so many years. they got the draw or whatever, but it was like I really expect them to start pushing more. Really, FC Kansas City, it's because they look good. The national team is playing out there, and for the Dash, I really didn't have a lot positive to say about them. To me, it wasn't one of their best games at all. There wasn't much to talk about. The goal that they scored really off of Lloyd, I remember when I saw it, I was like, what just happened or whatever? Like, it was kind of a messy one, to say at least. Wasn't the most beautiful. But, I mean, they got something out of the game, so you can't take anything from that. But to me, I was really impressed with FC Kansas City this game. So, props to them.
Jackie, what were your thoughts?
Yeah, I think Kansas City played very well. They had more chances for sure. Looked very dangerous in the attack. And Houston, they got that soft goal. They kind of got lucky, in my opinion. But I think in the second half, Kansas City really were so close to scoring so many times. They controlled, the game, honestly. Hard-fought draw, but yeah, lucky for Houston to get it.
Graham, what were some of your standout moments in that match?
Always hate to see a draw. It's really unfortunate that it came to that, especially off of to echo what they were saying. That just kind of a soft goal, unfortunate chance that went in. I really would have liked to see Houston pull that off, especially with all the World Cup players back. So, yeah, would like to have seen Houston win that match. But overall, great match in general. Just would have liked to see a winner rather than a draw.
And Jen, what were your thoughts on FC Kansas City versus Houston?
I kind of, I'm going to go a little bit opposite Graham here. I kind of wanted to see FC Kansas City win that one just because of the way they were playing. It was kind of unfortunate that Houston scored 2 goals and it ended in a draw. But, I mean, it kind of is what it is, I guess. Hayo, for me, was probably the standout player for both teams, which was nice because we didn't see her play at all for, a month and a half. So it was nice to see Hayo get out there and really start doing her thing again. But, yeah, I mean, the scoreline was unfortunate for everybody here, I think, so.
I actually think that the first half, not the first half, the early stages of the match, I think both teams actually kind of struggled some with communication and things like that. Ultimately, I think FC Kansas City did get things together a lot quicker than the Houston Dash did. But it was interesting. I definitely would agree. O'Reilly and Holiday were pretty much on it. I just think that there were too many missed opportunities from both teams. I would say especially Kansas City. I think that they probably should have got the win there. There were so many missed chances, hit the crossbar or came out or didn't cross the line, things like that. I will say probably one of the more entertaining matchups in that game was watching Carly Lloyd versus Becky Sauerbrunn. It was really entertaining to kind of see them, after having them play on the same team for so long, to kind of see them go head-to-head in that matchup. There were a couple of really good, battles between the two of them. So that was certainly entertaining to watch. Moving on, we're going to go to Boston Breakers versus Chicago Red Stars, and we'll, I guess, start with the Red Stars fan and Graham over here.
Kristen Press, 5 goals in 4 games played, and of those 5 goals, 2 of them are 90th minute winners. I mean, she is clutch. I was very happy with the results, but wanted more. Was expecting a little bit more. Boston's kind of been a thorn in the Red Star side as of late. They've been playing really, really well, and the coach was not happy. His expression said it all with the 90th minute goal that was allowed, in which I was ecstatic. But overall, good game played, a lot of chances both sides, really good keeping in that match for sure. It was an exciting match. It wasn't dull, and I was very upset when I was coming down to it. I'm like, another draw in 2 games, same scoreline, but definitely the World Cup players came through on that one, and I apologize if you hear plane engines. EAA is in town this year, so
No worries.
it's not like it feels like that way.
Um, yeah, I think that I won't get too much into it. I'll let everyone else talk first. But I think that that picture of the Breakers coach Tom Durkin that kind of was going around the internet after the game pretty much said it all and is very kind of indicative of how I think a lot of Breakers players, fans are probably feeling after the kind of rough patch they've been having so far. But without getting too much in that, we'll go over to Jackie now. Thoughts on that match?
Yeah, I think Boston had a really tough time moving forward in the attack. Chicago's defense, I thought, was very organized. And Chicago had chances, but Alyssa Nair, kept her team in the match for as long as she could. I thought she was fantastic, as well as Dalton in goal for Chicago. Tancredi got the goal with Motts putting it back across, the nice little back goal. I think Boston, they would possess the ball and then lose it, possess and lose it, and they just couldn't really get a rhythm. Chicago was just fantastic when they double teamed. Kristen Press, we can't say enough about her. She's clutch, like Graham said. Yeah, definitely heartbreak for Boston. And Chicago, I think, was thrilled to get 3 points.
Jen, who were some of the standout players in your opinion for Boston versus Chicago?
Definitely, as Jackie mentioned, both goalkeepers. I think Dalton did a phenomenal job holding off what chances Boston did create. And then Alyssa Nair on the other side was just a brick wall for a while there until Tank sunk that one. Kristen Press, obviously, game-winning goal, but also Christy Mewis, I thought, really stood out. She created a lot of chances. She had that one free kick that I swore was going in. Just from the camera angle, it looked like that thing was going in, and it's unfortunate for me being a Spirit fan that it didn't. But I would definitely say those guys were a crucial part of that game.
And lastly, DJ, tell us your thoughts.
Just for me, because like I say, you guys did hit a lot of points, but there's a few points I want to touch on. I was impressed with Kaya Simon. I think she'll be a great signing for Boston. She early on you could see she was great in the ball, had great pace, and that goal she just bossed that goal over Hemmings. It looked like so. She's going to be a good one for them, and that was a nice cross by McCaffrey. She really was turning it on. I think it's good to see she got a little bit of help out there now with Simon, someone else they're going to have to focus on. Also, for me, with Chicago, DiBernardo actually, to me, was having a pretty good game getting forward or whatever. She looked like she was controlling the midfield a lot, and she plays a real major part in helping them attack and also controlling possession in that midfield. So I was enjoying her and Herrera, how they were connecting a lot of the times. Other than that, it was great saves on both sides. Press marked the return with a beautiful goal. And I knew that Boston seems like they always do give Chicago a tough game, but Chicago, I knew they were going to come to that game, and Pepper just hit the box with a ton of crosses, and they would find something out of it. And I knew Boston couldn't get a draw out of Chicago for 2 straight games. It just wasn't going to happen. Chicago wasn't going to allow them to lead that game with any points, and that's what they did. Press came back and saved today. So it was a good game to watch. I enjoyed it.
One thing I thought was interesting about that match, looking at the lineup, Chicago had a very different lineup than they did when the two teams played each other on Saturday. And, I would attribute that probably to the fact that they have to go and play the Spirit on this Saturday, and having that midweek game like that. But, a lot of different changes than expected, and I think that they did well. I know we see physically Michelle Omnicki sometimes isn't always a starter, but did well in that game. And I think one of the biggest changes, I think, Karina LeBlanc came back for the first game, which was interesting to some people because Michelle Dalton had been doing so well. And then we see Dalton get the start this game. So I know that was a big talking point for people, wondering what happened to KK and wondering why she wasn't starting, but Dalton came up pretty big for Chicago, so it's probably a good move on their part. I think Boston's pretty much been kind of, they have had, I think the only really, really poor game they had was when they lost 2-0 against Western New York Flash at home. I think other than that, they have been unlucky in some aspects, and I think that they are, their record as of late has been somewhat unfortunate for them. I don't think that they've played as poorly as that record would show. So hopefully that they can kind of turn it around. I think that they did have a really good game the last 2 games, and as stated, goalkeeping played a big role in this last game. So, yeah, I mean, tough for Boston, I think, but both goals, I think that goal by Tancredi was kind of cool, and Kristen Press had a beautiful goal when she came on the field. So good win for Chicago. It'll be interesting to see their next match, which we'll get to later.
Can I say something real quick? I think Alyssa Mott, you got to give her credit. I think she's played 2 great games.
St. Louis now.
Yeah, actually, thank you for mentioning that. That was something someone I forgot to mention. Last 2 games, she's been wonderful. So thanks for bringing that up, TJ. That's awesome.
St. Louis?
Moving on, we're going to talk about our NWSL off-the-post game of the week. Portland Thorns versus Seattle Reign. I know some people had some difficulty watching this game, which may be a discussion point or rant later in the show, so I won't touch too much on that right now. But assuming everyone did get to figure out their stream and stuff like that, let's talk about it. We're going to go with the token Reign fan and have Jackie tell us a little bit about your thoughts of this game.
Yeah, early on, Seattle didn't look that great. We had a lot of early turnovers. I thought Fishlock, she struggled against Portland, but Tobin and Allie, they had some good chemistry. In our defense, we had some trouble in the first half, but 57th minute, Kim Little, I mean, that was a phenomenal, phenomenal effort, individual effort to get that goal. And Pino got the assist, so it was great to see Pino back out there, really happy. It was a very physical match, as expected. Yeah, and, beating Portland on their home field in front of 21,000, it doesn't get much better than that. So very, very happy Reign fans.
We'll go over to Jen next.
Yeah, I was not happy about the result of either of those games on Wednesday, actually, because now we have to pummel the snot out of Graham's team on Saturday. Sorry, Graham. But anyway, yeah, for me it was RVH. Like, that entire game was just Rachel Van Hollenbeck. Like, she played all 11 positions on the field for Portland. She was just insane. Tobin was Tobin. I mean, it's Tobin. There's not much else you can say there. She definitely made an impact as far as leadership on the team. They've looked better than they have in a while. I think that was in part to the return of Tobin and in a way kind of Sinclair, even though I don't think she played the game she wanted to. Seattle was making so many chances. They were bound to get one in. I mean, it was inevitable that it was going to happen at some point. And last show I called the 1-0 scoreline. I just got it the wrong way. But that's okay.
DJ, I know that you're, I don't know about a Reign fan, but I know you're a Megan Rapinoe fan. Tell us a little bit about how you thought she was in her game and on her return back to Seattle, and just about how the team played in general.
I thought it was a great game. I mean, I'm always happy when she's actually on the field playing because, like you say, you never know what to happen. There's always those moments of magic, like sitting to get the assist. That's always good to see her like connecting. To me, the fact that when she came back, I was like, that's almost like a mid-season transfer in the Premier League, a big signing that you signed in January and brought back to your team. And just instantly gels the team, fits right on the perfect piece you need to just push you back to where you're going to be. So I think that she return is going to be a real huge and big thing, and that's going to be something to keep looking out for because that might be one of the biggest pieces. But like I said, then we got the hope issue, but still, Kottmeier's been great so they can still survive with that loss, which may be a longer loss than we actually think it's supposed to be. But the Pino one was great. If we can talk about Pino more, we would, but I'll move on talking about Seattle and Portland in general. Portland, to me, just haven't been playing well this season, and it's been going on for some time. I know with the national team respect, they will probably improve, but they look like they're really building a ditch, and it's going to be hard to get out of. Morgan's going to be gone for a little while, and now they got Sinclair and Heath. They're going to depend on them a lot the rest of this year. And I was wondering I was thinking maybe the Sinclair and Heath coming back additions will be like the KO Rampone, how we saw how KO just bossed the midfield in that one game for us and actually brought us back in that game. So I'm wondering if Heath will be like that, really just be like the leader and just take his team over and get them a couple more wins that they weren't getting prior this season earlier on. Because like right now they're falling deeper into the cellar with these little losses. Players like Schmidt Long, they're good, but they're more complimentary players as we've come to notice or whatever throughout the season. But it's like they can aid this team a lot, and AO especially, someone like that, she could aid the team. She's getting more serves because she's a fast-paced player. And to me, I like her, but it just seems like sometimes she doesn't finish, or she's fast. So maybe if they bring some more weapons around her, maybe she'll get forward, hold up the ball, and probably lay it off to one of these like better finishers. As for Seattle, man, I mean, I knew they weren't going to lose back-to-back games. I told Yanez that when she was on last week. Yep, I'm name dropping. I don't care. It wasn't the high-scoring game we thought it was going to be, but you don't expect that in a tough derby, especially one out in the Northwest with these two teams who are bitter rivals. This is a good rivalry in the NWSL because these teams dislike each other in pretty much every sport. Also, I mean, I knew that the players, like I said, the Seattle players, and also, but Kim Little's came through in the clutch again. She always does, it seems like, against Portland. She's the thorn in the thorn side, if I can say that, but as I was saying before, really my notes were just saying more about like Megan Rapinoe feeling like a mid-season transfer, but I feel like Seattle is going to continue pushing forward, and we'll get into their game next week against Portland again. But I mean, I feel like Seattle's going to be a really threatening team, a serious contender with this CRS spirit. Seattle's going to be right there with them the rest of the season. So.
And Graham, what were your thoughts on the match?
I just want to touch on what DJ mentioned with national team players coming back. They've been so decisive coming back from World Cup duty in a lot of the games, scoring goals or assisting. In this instance, Pino doing what she does at putting a pass onto anybody, whether they've been missing for years or not. Very happy to see Kim Little get on board. Sad to see that Bev did not continue her scoring ways, especially after being on the show. But Kim Little, can turn the game around on a dime. So very happy to see. I definitely lean towards more of the Seattle than Portland side. So happy with the outcome of the game. Also a huge Pino fan, so
Right on.
And yep, Pismo. So, but yeah, man, Seattle had a good game, and
one of the things I actually don't think either of these teams played that well. Minus the defense, I think Seattle defense was kind of off to a rough start, but. I think after that they picked it up, and I think both defenses, and again goalkeeping was really a key point in that matchup. I agree with the whole Hollebeck thing. She was really really on it and everywhere. And one thing I noticed about Portland, and I'm not really sure if it's because they're having some injuries. They don't have Morgan. Wilkinson was out. Taylor's out. But they had, I don't remember, I wish I could remember where I saw it, somewhere on Facebook probably, but there was kind of like a little infographic, a little lineup chart that pretty much everyone was playing out of position. Not everyone, but there were some people playing out of position. And it showed like what their true positions were lined up on the field. And I'm not really sure, again, if that's just an injury thing or if, Paul Riley's trying some different things, but they have been kind of in a slump, and I definitely agree that the national team players didn't really have much of an impact as they probably could have, but again, it's the first game back, so hopefully as they reintegrate themselves and hopefully some of those players become healthy again, we will see. But we're going to talk more about our game next week, this week, sorry. But speaking about Solo, injury report came out, still out. Wilkinson and Taylor. Wilkinson's still out. Taylor doubtful for Portland. So we can talk a little bit more about that. But it seems like both teams are kind of having those same missing people as they were for this game. Moving on, we are going to do our sensational six for these games. I picked several because I'm sure they will all be taken by the time it gets to me. We're gonna, so just so people don't know what this is, we're all gonna pick our top player for these last couple matches, and if you we'll post them on our social media, so you can comment if you agree, disagree, who would you have picked. Let us know. So we're gonna start off with Jen on that.
Yeah, I'm definitely going RBH for this week.
There's one off of my list.
Do I have to write them down, or are you writing them?
I got them. Just for the aforementioned reasons, Jen, or anything else you want to add about why you picked her? Did we lose Jen?
I think so.
All right. Moving on, we're going to go next to Jackie. Who was your pick?
For me, it was Alyssa Nair in goal for Boston. You know, I think she was brilliant in between the pipes. And she's so talented. We haven't seen her play in so long, so I was really happy to see her back and see what she could do. And I think even though her team lost, it was very, very good to see her play like that. So, yeah, I think she's fantastic. So, Alyssa Nair for me.
All right. So, RBH, Nair, Graham, up to you.
Kristen Press for obvious reasons, just seeing her back on the field and coming on and jumping back in without skipping a beat and making a decisive goal in the final minute.
Great. And then off to DJ.
Chicago made it too easy this week for me. It's like, for me, I liked what DiBernardo did. Her stats don't have to show it. She, to me, had a good game. Or I could go with Alyssa Motts, but I'll be nice to you because I know you probably have Mott, so I'll go with Vanessa DiBernardo.
And I guess to make it 6, I'll pick 2, I guess.
Yep, go for it.
So I'm gonna go with Motts. Thank you for leaving her for me. I had a couple backups, but I appreciate that. So I'm gonna go with Motts, and again, just because she got the assist on Tancredi's goal, the whole game was pretty much just right on that flank and was being incredible. So she had a really solid game. And I'm trying not to let last week's performance influence me also, but this is the second game that she's had that's really been solid. So she definitely gets one of my picks. And then my other pick is going to go to Hailey Kottmeier, just because she came up really, really big. At least one time I can think of, probably throughout the game, she came up really big for Seattle in that Portland game. So, yeah, so I'm going to pick Kottmeier. So just to kind of go through, those will be posted on our social media. So again, when it's posted, feel free to comment. But Jen picked Rachel Van Hollebeck, Jackie picked Alyssa Nair, Graham picked Kristen Press, DJ picked Vanessa DiBernardo, and I picked Alyssa Motts and Hailey Kottmeier. So those will be posted. Again, please let us know if you agree, disagree, who would you have picked if you disagree, and let us know. Moving on, we are going to talk about this weekend's games. We got lots of games this weekend. Kind of back to the schedule where everyone's playing. Well, most everyone's playing. 19th, everyone can't play, but for full weekend. And some of these games are big, big games. So we're going to start with a big game and go with Washington Spirit versus Chicago Red Stars. And we'll toss it over to Jen first to talk about her predictions and thoughts for that match.
Yeah. Sorry, Graham.
Oh, don't worry. He's next. Don't worry.
Yeah, I mean, we have our players coming back this week. You'll see Ashlyn Harris and Hailey Krieger on the field again. Franny Ordega will be back on the field. We still haven't heard from Akobe and where she's standing, but Josephine, who's coming in as another defender, all of them are available. So I think, you know, our defensive line has been good all season anyway. We've had, you know, Megan Oyster back there. We've had Tori Huster back there on occasion. Kelsey Weiss has been phenomenal in Ashlyn Harris's absence. So the addition of Allie Krieger is just going to make it that much better. DMAT will not play a full 90. We're kind of bringing her back in slowly. But, I mean, the bit she played last game, she already had a huge impact. Haley Rosso, who we brought in, had a huge impact. So I think we're only going to get stronger from this point forward as soon as our players can kind of learn how to connect with one another and make the passes count and figure things out. But with Dunn up top and players that can now match her speed, we're going to have a really, really strong attack. So Chicago's defense is definitely going to have to step up and be ready for that. And like I said, our D-line has been really strong all season. So I'm going to go, let's go 2-1 in favor of Washington.
I do have a bit of a question then. I'm going to ask Jen, but anyone else, feel free when we go to you, chime in on this. But saw something on Twitter about potentially them using Allie Krieger as a holding midfielder. What are your thoughts on that?
You know, I think that might it's going to be interesting for sure. But I think that might actually play to our favor because she is an attacking defender. So playing her as a holding midfielder, she'll still be back there holding, like I said, the already strong D-line, but it'll also give her a chance to move forward a little bit more and push the rest of the line forward with her a little bit more. So I definitely think it's going to work in our favor. It's just going to be weird to get used to that. But, I mean, as long as they allow her to move forward, and I think that's the key. I think if she's going to play a holding midfield position, they have to allow her to move forward. They can't do what they did with Lauren Holiday on the national team and hold her back. But as long as Mark, and I think you will, as long as Mark allows her to push the line forward, I think it'll be an advantage.
Great. Graham, we'll go over to you for the Chicago Red Stars viewpoint of this.
I just have to say I'm very nervous that it's such a late game again. I'm curious.
And there is a curfew at the soccer plex. It's supposed to be nice, though.
So hopefully we get this game played. I'm actually I have the exact same score prediction, but in favor of the Red Stars. I definitely think it's going to be a great game. I mean, if they play, they're always two awesome teams and they match up with each other well. I do think our defense can oust their offense, though. Especially Sam Johnson's been playing just a phenomenal season this year. She's been really holding that back line well in the absence of Julie Johnson, and now that Julie Johnson's back, their back line is going to be very hard to penetrate, in my opinion. With the addition of Kristen Press up top with Jen Hoy, assuming that Jen Hoy is starting, I definitely think that the attack is going to be strong. And they're going to be a very ample matchup with Crystal Dunn up top as well as an attacking threat. So I definitely think Red Stars are going to come away with the win and 3 points and remain at the top of the league. Trying to be as unbiased as can be over here, but
it's okay. We understand. DJ, what are your thoughts?
To me, this is one of the best matches of the week because both of these teams have just been exceptional this year. I think it'll be good to finally see these two powerhouses go at it and watch there's a rain delay and the game won't happen. So we'll look forward to that probably more than anything. Let's check the weather, everyone. But it's really hard to pick between these two teams because both teams have been so good this year. I like CRS's style of play for the most part. I love their possession style, that midfield. Like I said, I love all the players, how every player on that team knows their role. But the Washington Spirit have just been a great team to watch as well. Like, their players are all playing well, and it seems like that Megan Oyster's been just an exceptional rookie this year. You can get magic from Crystal Dunn, but the thing is you also can get magic from Kristen Press as well. So I think it's going to be Chicago's game to win, and I got them winning at 2-1.
All right, and Jackie?
Yeah, this is going to be a fantastic matchup. I'm going to look forward to JJ versus Crystal Dunn. That's so exciting. I cannot wait for this game. I'm going to go 1-1 draw. I don't know. I think it's going to be really tough, and both teams have so many incredible players, goalkeepers as well, with Harris and Krieger back. Yeah, it's going to be a great game.
All right, and this is hard for me. It's a big game, absolutely. Like, between all the games this weekend, between Seattle, Portland, and Washington, Chicago, has big implications for the standings because Chicago currently is 5 points clear of the Spirit, 1 point clear of Seattle. Washington can gain on both teams, if they win and Seattle loses. But either way, a win for them gains on them regardless. So it's kind of a really big game, as you guys said, to see will the Chicago pull further away in the standings at the top of the league, or will things get even more interesting? And we'll see. Me personally, I would like the Spirit to win, I will say that, but I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw as what I think is going to actually happen. Like I said, that being said, I would like the Spirit to win, but there we go. I want the Spirit to win, but I'm going to go to 2-2 draw because I think that they're two such great teams, and I don't know. I think one of two things could happen. There's either going to be, that many goals scored, or there's not going to be goals scored, and it could be a 0-0 draw. But I don't really see that happening either. So Yep, we'll go 2-2 draw, even though I want Spirit to win. Next game, I would normally start with me for this game, but I'm not going to because I'm doing the host thing. But Western New York Flash versus Houston Dash. I'll kick it down to DJ. Tell us your thoughts.
To me, it's a game where I actually want to see the Dash finally come aboard because I really had high hopes for them this year. The Flash, the thing that's scaring me lately, because they've been a fun young team to watch, but they keep losing these leads in the second half. And I feel like it's time for the Dash to bounce back in this game. So if it goes 0-0, I keep predicting it's going to be 0-0, 1.5 this game. And the Dash, after the lackluster performance, they're going to be like, we really need this one. Their talent's about to show through in this game, and I really think that if they go into the half tied 0-0, then they're going to score about 3 goals in them because it seems like it's 3 goals is the minimum to beat the Flash. I mean, to score on the Flash in the second half. So I think it's going to be 3-0 Dash in this game. I just can't. I'm sorry, Courtney, but it's just like something about the Flash. This has been weird. They've just looked like a totally different team. They've been so good, and then all of a sudden it's just second half leads every time. So 3-0 Dash.
That's harsh. That's harsh, but that's okay. We'll go over to Jackie next.
Yeah, well, both these teams have not won in a while. Houston haven't won since June 20th, and the Flash since June 28th, so I think points are really crucial at this point for both teams. I'm going to say 2-1 win for the Dash. No,
sorry.
Well, all right. Go over to Graham. What are the things you're looking forward to during this match?
I'm looking forward to more Carly Lloyd goals. And it's a long shot, but I'd really, really, really like to see a Klingenberg goal. I'm just excited. I'm excited for the Dash. I definitely think they're finding their stride in this league, and they're getting the wins that the quality of players that they have on the field. They're finally getting the score lines that match what the product that's out on the field, in my opinion. So I'm looking for another Dash win this weekend against the Flash.
Do you have a score prediction?
I'm going to be wishful in a 3-1 Dash.
All right, and Jen.
I think this is going to be a high-scoring game, maybe for both teams. The Flash signed Heyman. We saw her impact. It was huge. Now they've got Lady Andrade working in. So the Flash definitely have a change-up, and obviously Houston, with their national team players coming back in, we've seen their impact already. So I think it's going to be high-scoring. I'm going to go 3-2 in favor of Western New York.
Thanks, Jen. It's hard. I think probably one of the most exciting things is the return of Carly Lloyd to Rochester as a Dash player, unfortunately, but I think that'll hopefully get a lot of people into the game and kind of make it an interesting game just because, I don't know that she was really happy to be traded. That was kind of made evident early in the season. But it'll be interesting to see her back, and I think hopefully people will come and check out the game just because there are a lot of people who are still upset that she got traded. So also, like was said, Heyman has made a huge impact, NWSL Player of the Week. NWSL Player for the Week, and, I think she'll continue. She could have scored easily probably 2 or 3 goals that game. So I think that's really important. And then, like was said, Lady Andrade, and I'm not sure if she'll be available tomorrow. The Flash kind of made it seem like she would be. Could make a huge difference. And also, the Flash tweeted, I think a lot of people forgot about this, but that they did sign Hailey Kottmeier from Nigeria, I believe, during the World Cup. And so they said that she's going to be available for selection tomorrow. I think a lot of people probably aren't really realizing that she was still traded. So, Yeah, it'll be interesting. Carly Lloyd, obviously not a fan of getting traded, so it'll be interesting to see. She might be out for a little bit of a vengeance against her former club. But again, I think that they had kind of a rough game, earlier in the week, and so both teams are kind of reintegrating their national team players. But I think with people like Heyman and Andrade potentially and Allende, I think could make a difference. Hopefully, Aaron Lyons was very cognizant last week of the fact that their defense was having a bit of a collapse recently and was pretty unacceptable. So hopefully they've been working on that during the week and can prevent that second half collapse they've been having for the last couple of matches. That being said, I'm going to say 3-2 Flash, not just because I'm biased, but I think that they're going to pull it out and get the win. So that's my prediction is 3-2 Flash. We'll see what happens, though. Next up, we're going to go over DJ again because it's his favorite team, Sky Blue versus the Boston Breakers.
Come on, Sky Blue. Come on, Sky Blue. All right, so for me, this is a game that is the most important game of the season for me by far. More important than all those derbies of Portland and Seattle, the Washington Spirit versus CRS. Who cares about the top of the table? This is the battle to get out of the cellar right now, so I'm very excited about this game. Sky Blue look like we've turned it around. We are back. This is a game that we got our national teamers they're in rolling. The Aussie duo looks great. I think that we can give Boston a good game. I am fearful of McCaffrey, Simon, and Mewis. I'm not stupid about them. I know that they're good players. We got to watch Simon. She seems like she's going to be a really good addition to Boston. So I'm really, I'm kind of leery how our backline is going to deal with her, but I think we'll be fine. I like Grupp because I think she's been great this year, and some people have talked about her, but I think she needs to get a bit more credit. And Rampone back there, we need that veteran leader. I want KO pushed farther up the field, definitely, because she was a boss of that midfield and really saved us in that last game. But in this one, I think we're only going to win 1-0, but 1-0 is good enough. We need points, and 3 points are better than 1 point or 0 points. So, Sky Blue 1-0.
All right, Jen, your thoughts?
Why you gotta make me go after him? I can't top that.
I'm sorry. I'm used to hosting. It's bad.
Yeah, no. Sky Blue and Boston, Boston's so unpredictable that I feel like Sky Blue stands a good shot at this one, and I think Sky Blue stands a good shot at finally getting out of the bottom. I'm actually going to agree with DJ on the scoreline. I'm going to say 1-0 in favor of Sky Blue.
All right, we'll go over to Jackie. What are you looking forward to in this match?
Well, I think we have all the same notes because I agree with what they said. Boston, God, I think they're a bit disappointed in how they've been playing this season, and Sky Blue, they've been at the bottom for a while. So, yeah, I actually had Sky Blue winning on a O'Hara goal, so 1-0 Sky Blue, hopefully.
That's right.
And then, Graham, I can't tell if you're here. If you're here.
Can you guys not see me? I'm here.
No, I can't see you. We can hear you, though.
I'm here.
Go for it.
I am going to back Sky Blue on this one. I definitely think they have one coming. This day. And I also agree with Jackie 100%. I was just thinking about Kelly O'Hara getting her goal chances, and she's definitely due. So for more. So I'm going to say Sky Blue 2-0 in this one, just because they can.
I'm actually going to be the one that is the oddball here. Sky Blue. Listen, I think that they're really close, and I think that they've improved throughout the season. And I'm going to be that guy, that girl. I don't know. I think Sky Blue. Don't get me wrong. Sky Blue has a ton of momentum coming off that draw against the Flash, where they came back. And actually, Katie Frills just got credit for that goal. That was credited an own goal, so they actually scored all 3 of their goals. And that's major. That's a huge confidence booster. Their national team players came in and were awesome. Their Australian players are awesome. But I don't know. Boston is just, I don't know if this is just the residual, Boston from Massachusetts in me, even though I'm not like a huge Breakers fan. I don't know. I just feel like they've been playing so well and have not even so well. They haven't been playing as poorly as their record reflects, and I just think that they have to catch a break somewhere. And unfortunately for Sky Blue people, I think it might be against Sky Blue. I don't think it's going to be. I say either 2-1 Boston, or it could be a 1-1 draw. But Simon looked really great, Nair looked really great, and I could see them putting up a fight. I think they're really just kind of sick of losing or sick of the draw, so I think they're really just sick of it. So no offense, everyone, especially TJ. I'm going to go with Boston on this one, 2-1. And finally, the rematch of this past Wednesday's game, Seattle versus Portland. Great news for Seattle. They had to open up a whole other section of stands that they don't usually open up because of ticket demand, so that's great. So rock on Seattle and any Portland fans who are going to come down for the game. Down, up, I don't know my geography, down for the game. But let's start off with our resident Seattle expert, Jackie.
Yeah, I'm really excited to hear that they're opening the second stands, which now gives us 12,000 available seats. So hopefully fans come out, and hopefully it's a sellout for sure. I think Portland's going to be really looking to get some revenge after that loss the other day. I don't know, Seattle, we've been pretty good at home, and I think Fishlock and Little will look to have, or Fishlock and Giannis look to have better games than last game, so I'm thinking 1-0 win once again for Seattle.
All right, let's go over to DJ.
For me, the game, it's a rematch. I predicted the score that Seattle will win last time. The score is going to be worse for Portland this time. Seattle's about to go in there and beat them down. I think it's going to be real bad for Portland this one. Been, like I said, disappointing team all year. You got your national teamers back, well, we got ours, and now you're coming into our house. Portland's about to let loose. This is my beatdown special of the week. It will be 4-0 Seattle.
Wow.
2 Pinot goals, by the way.
I hope you're right.
And one little bit of magic by Kim Little, by the way. So 2 Pinot goals. So look for it.
All right. That's, you heard it first here. Beatdown special.
Sorry, Jen. I know.
We're quoting you.
Sorry,
Jen.
Jen.
Let's go over now to Graham.
I had a scoreline of 3-0 Seattle.
I'm done. Peace out, guys.
I have 1 goal for Pino, 1 goal for Little, and Giannis is going to continue scoring. He's a little more hopeful with the Pino brace, but it's more than possible. I just don't think Portland has the chemistry right now I mean, they have the defense, but I don't think they have the chemistry to put what's needed to go into the net to keep up with Seattle. Seattle has a lot better product, and I think they're they found their form, so I think Portland is lacking that, and they're still searching, and it's going to cost them in this match.
Just a quick question. I can't think off the top of my head. Has Seattle lost at home this season?
Oh man. I think they've lost once, maybe. I don't think they. I have to look.
We'll take a look at that while we go over to Jen. I think you might be that guy right now, but let's hear.
I'm always that guy. That's my job. Someone's got to do it. All right, I'll fill my role well. Yeah, I'm naturally going to go with Portland. Hi guys. But I don't think it's going to be high scoring by any means. I might go with the same scoreline actually. I might go 1-0 Portland. One thing I did notice was this past game, Tobin was marked Pino for the game. So bias aside, I'm putting my bias aside here because it is Tobin. Neither one of them played their best game, and so we saw that markup happen when neither one of them were at the top of their game, and I think this game honestly might come down to which one of them is at the top of their game. Because if Pino can break through Tobin, Pino's going to score that hat trick. But if Tobin still manages to keep her down, yeah, it's going to be a big difference. And I gotta back up RVH after this past game. She was just phenomenal. Obviously, Kim Little's goal was fantastic, but they're going to be watching her. I don't think they're going to let that happen again. So I'm still going to go 1-0, but I'm going to go 1-0 Portland again.
All right. Yeah.
Can I jump in real quick, Courtney?
Yeah. What's up? Go ahead, DJ.
That's a good point, Jen. It's funny because I don't rate either of them highly as defenders. I know I'll lie about defending to anyone. I mean, but I'll say that to you guys on air. But I'll lie on Twitter if you say something about her. But no, she's a good defender. And Heath, I don't really see her as the one that tracks back pretty well. So that is really good. It will depend on who actually, I guess, is the worst of the two defenders and who breaks to who. So it'll be good to see that matchup.
Yeah. So just doing a quick little check. Seattle hasn't lost at home, so I think that's going to be a big factor, especially if they do have more fans opening up all that section now. I think that there's something to be said for teams who play well at home. They have had a couple draws, but they haven't lost at home. So I think this is hard for me because it's such a quick turnaround too. I don't know that the Thorns have it together enough to fix the issues that they had in that quick of a time span of like the couple of days. I don't think they have it. Especially with Seattle being this great at home. I think both teams have a lot of things to improve on from the last game, but I think with that tight turnaround, yes, they may be more on Little, but the Reign have so many more dangerous options in Yanez, and Fishlock and Rapinoe. So I think that if it's not Little that's going to do it, I think one of those other ones can. And I don't know. Portland's been kind of off, and I don't think they're going to have all their resources that they need in order to kind of get it together. I don't think it's going to be quite a blowout. I am going to go ahead and say 2-0 Reign. They also have Kottmeier, who I mentioned earlier, Solo's still out, but then they have Kottmeier, who's been like amazing and proved so in Portland in front of all those Portland fans too. So I think that just will help her more being in front of a home crowd. So I'm going to go with 2-0 Reign. Sorry, Jen.
That was nice. That was nice of you. That was nice. You didn't have them in a blowout like the rest of us,
Yeah, I didn't do the weekly SmackDown special or whatever it is that you called it. So no SmackDown special. But so we're at that point. We're gonna put DJ in the hot seat right now.
Oh, for goodness sake!
We've come to that point in the show where DJ, as our spotlight panelist, this is the first time he's been a panelist, and he's usually not. So we'll put him on the spot, and we got some questions for him. We'll start off with Graham. What is your question for DJ? Graham. All right, we'll come back to Graham. Jackie.
He doesn't get to ask another one. He's done. No. Bye, Graham. Goodbye, Graham. You are off the post. Bye, Graham.
Good question.
We got his question. We'll go with Jackie though right now.
Okay. Well, this is a soccer question. What's your favorite song at the moment right now, DJ?
Oh, shoot. What am I listening to? That's a tough one. Oh, no, it is a good song. This is a song that a friend got us listening to. It's called, 21 Pilots. I don't know if you listen to them. It's a song called Polarize. We keep listening to it at work, and we're all into it. So 21 Pilots, Polarize.
Cool.
Check it out. Check it out.
All right. Let's move on. Graham, are you back?
Nah, he ain't back. Keep moving.
Oh. Graham, go for it. You're on. You're up.
I'm up. I'm in the hot. Oh, he's in the hot seat.
He's in the hot seat, but you're up for your question.
My question. Oh, I'm so not prepared for this. I
have a second one.
Jackie's already got 2, right? She's got 2 already.
What? How much did I miss?
I don't know, but I like the question that you asked one. I saw one that you had thought about earlier. I like that one.
That was a joke.
Oh, well. All right, we'll come back to Graham. Graham, think about it. Questions for DJ. Jen?
DJ, other than Pino, who are your top 5 favorite NWSL players?
That's an easy one. Erica Timrick, Becky Sabrum. Let's see. I will go with. I have to go with. I think it's we're in Cameron. No, Kristen Edmonds. My mistake. Edmonds for Washington, West New York Flash. I actually like her a lot. I could say. Well, no, that's. I used to like Naren a bit, but I think I'd go with Fishlock more right now. Probably. I'm feeling her. She's pretty good. And if I go 5, now that's a tough one. My 5th player. Who am I feeling this year? Because I could just sit on FC Kansas City and say like Shea Groom if I wanted to, but I'll change up because I do like people on teams. Let me think about it. Oh, let me go to my own team, Caitlin Ford, man, right there.
All right, Graham, we ready to go now, Graham?
If you were given the opportunity to spend an entire day with a team or any member of a team, what team would it be or who would it be? One answers of Sky Blue and Megan Rapinoe.
It's well, that is. I mean, that is kind of like what it would be. I guess it would be Pinot easily. Just hang out. We go get some croissants. Then we'll go hang out and do some some random stuff and whatever. I know she'd probably be like, I got some cool ideas. We're like, all right, then let's do that. So yeah, it'd be to see what life of Pinot is. So that's a good one. Thank you. Yeah.
That's kind of a lame question, but I'll ask it just for the sake of asking. What made you want to start this show?
It was because it was funny. It was back when you remember I was traveling and I sent her a random message when I was traveling. She was like, "Where are you at?" And I had
he sent me a text message about like a picture of like the Manchester United stadium, and I had no idea where he was going. And I was like, "Where on earth are you?" You sent me a picture of Manchester Stadium. But
I was like, "Oh yeah, it's 12 o'clock over here. It's only 7 over there. What's up? I'm about to go to bed. Good night, Courtney." But so anyway, I was over there, but I used to watch a bunch of shows of like how they had like their own shows, the fans and stuff. And I was back then. It was like probably November and December. I was like, "Oh, maybe we should do a show like that for the NWSL." But I was like, who would actually do it? So then I waited, and I kept putting it off. Then I woke up in February. I said, I got to go for it now, man. I said, strike while I got this idea, because this could be a great idea for the league to actually have a show like this where there's fans talking about fan stuff. So it's a show for fans by fans, and you just interact with them. So I got it from just like watching other shows on YouTube, and I said, well, the NWSL, I said, women's sport should have shows like this. I was like, why don't they? I said, that's the thing. Why don't they? And the thing is, well, someone has to do it. Well, I was like, okay, so I'll do it. And that was that in February. We got the ball rolling, and ever since it's been amazing. So.
Good answer. Good answer. I feel like I'm on Family Feud or whatever. Good answer. Before we move on, I just want to give a shout out. I checked the tag real quick. Footballista says, "Yeah, Kottmeier, her save after this Portland header was amazing. Thank you, Footballista, for watching the show and tuning in and sending us your comment." We're going to get on down to that section where everybody loves, and I actually have a WOSO-related rant today. So rant section, we'll start with Jackie.
Yeah, for me it was the stream of the Seattle-Portland game. Very disappointing. I know a lot of people in the States and other countries were unable to watch it, but thanks to Jacob from Cheeky Backheel, I was able to watch it, thank God, so shout out to him. But yeah, the stream was really disappointing, and I wonder if it was, I don't know, a network issue or NWSL issue or whatnot, but yeah, it really bummed to see the stream not work for a lot of people, but it worked out for me, so.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, I understand it's ultimately part of this deal that we have with Fox Sports, and I think that ultimately, which includes actual broadcast games, and so if that's, I guess, kind of the trade-off, like we're having stream issues, but we are going to get games broadcast, so, I think that that's kind of a trade-off, but I agree, very frustrating. And I did read somewhere that the NWSL said that they were looking into what the problems are, and they were aware that there were problems. and that they're going to try to hopefully fix them in the future. And they put the games on YouTube after, so at least that was good. But I definitely agree with you. I know we were all in our little chat being like, why won't it work? And Twitter blowing up like, why won't the game work?
Yeah.
So yeah, that was a good one. Moving on to Jen, anything you want to rant about at the moment?
It's not really a rant. It's just kind of like an irony, I guess. Like, everybody has been complaining for years and years and years and years. Like, you could only get the women's national team jerseys in a women's cut, right? Like, this was the first time they released it in a men's cut. So, Spirit Crew, this is the point you need to shut this off because you're going to call me a traitor. I was looking at Western New York kits, and because I wanted a Michelle Heyman one, and oddly enough, you can only customize the men's kit. I was like, wait, what? So, just kind of an ironic little. It's not a rant. I just kind of.
That doesn't sound like a problem to me. I don't know what the rant's about right there. I'm messing with you.
DJ, what's your rant for the week?
Okay, well, she touched on the streams. I was about to go off on that. I know somebody's going to go off on the Lady A rant, so I'll let somebody take that off. I'm guessing a Flash fan will probably do that one. Let's see, what can I rant about? Oh, well, I guess I'll rant about maybe I want like outlets like ESPN to show more highlights from the NWSL. Since you should be really capitalizing on the World Cup, maybe I got to see Kim Little highlight, and I was like in shock. I was, wait a moment, they're showing 30 seconds on ESPN? What are you doing, you know? It's like, well, you can throw like some of the other games, other big games on there for now on. I hope it's not just going to be a blurb because we know how ESPN is. Somebody told me, it was like, oh, they're the most sexist thing. Like I was talking to a fan. They were like, oh, they're so sexist, blah, blah, blah. Well, I was like, well, hopefully there's not more than just one moment of Kim Little magic that makes ESPN, and we'll start seeing more and more of the games just show up because we got, like I said, we got this big CRS versus Spirit game coming up, and it would be great if they put maybe a goal from Dunn or Press on there that was good. Because, I mean, heck, you could have put even Press's goal from this week on there. It's like in the 89th, 90th minute. You know, so I'm hoping that more of these games get a little bit of the publicity they deserve. And, yes, screw that stream or whatever. I'm not going to get on that. You did enough. Good job. So, all right, Courtney, you're good.
Graham?
I'm very, I wouldn't say ranty, but more upset that season's halfway done. We're
more than halfway done.
Yeah, well, playoffs.
Yeah, that's true. Your team's in first place. Yes, playoffs.
You rant. You can't start yet. It's my turn. And I gotta touch on the ESPN bit. Not to echo, but I mean, they were stupid not to jump on the World Cup wagon. Fox Sports capitalized huge on that. And then for them to come out of the World Cup with viewer ratings and whatnot that they had, and to host a stream and it be that terrible is outrageous. It's baffling to me. But to touch on a good note, so it's not all that. How about the sellouts that are going all around the league every game post-World Cup? It's amazing. So that's all I'm going to touch on before I get too carried away with one thing.
Yeah, that's a good point. Those attendance numbers. Again, I'm coming from a place where the attendance in Western New York was not that great following the World Cup, sadly. But yes, so you know, most people, great attendance, well done, great, good job. My rant. I don't often have a women's soccer-related rant, but I'm going to go there. So obviously, Flash announced that they signed Lady Andrade, Colombian international, who, yes, we know, famously punched Abby Wambach in the face in the 2012 Olympics. It happened, we know. Said some things about the women's national team during the World Cup, too, that were probably not that great, but, you know, the response that I've seen on social media, and I'm not singling anyone out, I'm not even going to say where I saw these responses, but some of the responses I've seen have just been really mind-boggling. I won't support her, I won't support the team, which fine, if you don't want to support her, I think I told someone that's fine, you can sit and scowl if you want, if she happens to score a goal. Please go ahead and do so. But I've seen a couple different places where people have said they're flat out not going to support the team anymore, not going to come to Flash games. Oh, I was thinking about coming to a Flash game, I'm not going to come anymore. Or, oh, I was thinking about bringing people to a Flash game, but we're not going anymore. Even season ticket holders that are like, I would rather the Flash lose than have her on the team, which just is kind of crazy to me. I understand people are upset about the fact that these incidents have happened, but I'm going to go ahead and say she punched Abby Wambach in the face, kind of served her time for that. She did serve suspension for that. That happened 3 years ago, so I want to go ahead and guess that perhaps a little bit of growth and maturity has happened since then. Even her comments during the World Cup, a lot of people are like, well, how come she wants to play with these people now who she said that has no heart? I could chalk that up to immaturity, could talk that up to it's a world competition. Like, you're competitive, juices are flowing, you say stuff that you think are good things to say while you're in the heat of that competition. And who knows? She may come to the NWSL and carry on with her shenanigans. I really hope she doesn't. I don't think that she would. But if that happens, go ahead and be mad at her. Go ahead and not like her. Go ahead and be annoyed. But I just think it's kind of ridiculous to be mad at the Flash. I've seen them getting a lot of hate on social media also for signing her. I think at this point you want, especially a team like the Flash that's gone through so many changes and has so much, I don't say inexperience, but like youth on their team, a lot of rookies and things like that. I think in order to be a better team, ultimately you want to have the best players out there. She was one of the best probably international players you could sign at the moment that would come to the NWSL. And like played really well in Colombia and put together a great World Cup performance. And so if she's going to help the Flash in the rest of their season, and we don't know how long she signed for, things like that. Even the Olympics next year. But if she's going to help the Flash team now and beyond, I think that's great. And as someone who supports the Flash, I think that's awesome. And I just would implore people, if you watch this stream at all, give it a chance. Give her a chance to show what she can do on the field. Give her a chance to show that maybe she's grown up a little bit since those incidents happened. Again, if you don't want to support her, that's fine. Please continue to support the team. Please support the team. Please support the league. You don't have to cheer for her if you don't want to. But please don't let that be a reason something that happened 3 years ago to a player who's no longer on the Flash or even playing in the league at this moment. Please don't let that be the reason you stop supporting the NWSL or the Western New York Flash, because you're missing out on a lot of people and a lot of great, talented individuals who bust their butt. And I really think she's going to work hard for the team. So give her a shot before you write her off or write off the Flash. Again, if she does cause some shenanigans, you can all, my Twitter's right there. Feel free to send me some hate, I guess, if I'm wrong about this. But give her a shot before you start blowing off the team and blowing off the league, because I think it's kind of a good thing to have polarizing players in the league. Also, look at people are. I don't know how mad they still are. People had been mad about Tancredi for a while with that Olympics thing also. But I think she's proven to be pretty good for the league. Zerboni just served a suspension for stepping on Shea Groom's back, and I don't know that people were upset, rightfully upset about that action, but I don't think people have sworn off, I'm never watching the Thorns again because Zerboni's on the team and she stepped on someone's back. So, not that I'm defending that action, because I'm not at all. Please be upset about that, because that was a bogus move on her part. But I haven't seen such a strong reaction about other instances like that have occurred in international or league play. So that was really a long rant, but it needs to be said. I've been having this battle on social media all week, and I'm kind of over it. So I'm going to say it now. Don't not support the team because you don't like a player that they signed, because I think that that's silly. So there's that. Before we kind of conclude, is there anything else anyone would like to say? I have one more final thing to mention, but if there's anything else any of you would like to mention first, now is your time. Go for it.
Yeah, Graham, jump on. That's what you guys say.
All right. To listeners and subscribers, we have another giveaway on top of the soccer ball giveaway. It's a chance to come out to a Red Stars game on the 23rd and hang out with some of the Off the Post panelists and DJ. We'll be out there. Goal line seats on the field. It's going to be a good time. They play the Flash, so it'll be a good game. And yeah, subscribe, follow, tweet in why you want it, message us, and we'll be going through and we'll contact you. This is going to be going on for a number of episodes, so there's going to be ample opportunity for anyone to join in. But yeah, get your reasons why we should pick you, and hopefully we'll see you in Chicago come the 23rd.
Nice.
Thanks. And of course, I'm mad that I can't go to that game, especially because they're playing the Flash. But for those of you who are going, have an awesome time. And yes, please, if you like the show, or even if you don't like the show, if you don't want to come to hang out with people on the show, come to the Red Stars because they're great and it's going to be a good game. Anything else anybody else has?
Yeah, I got something to say. I mean, people get mad about Lady A. I mean, she could punch me in the face if she wants to go play for Sky Blue. Skip that. I want that to my team. People are crazy.
There's that. Lady A, please don't leave the Flash, or please don't punch EJ in the face. But that offer is there, I guess, if you want to go play for Sky Blue. The one thing that I want to mention, I talked about it a little bit last week, but we have started. I know this is like mostly women's soccer related, but I know there are some people out there who follow the English Premier League, so we have started a Premier League fantasy league, Fantasy Premier League. We will get on the social media. We'll get the link on social media. We want any of you listeners who'd like to be involved to join our league. There's no like league limit, so if you're already in another league, that's cool. You just kind of carry the team over to this league. And I didn't say this last week because I didn't think about it, but I'm actually it is kind of a commitment. It goes from August to May-ish, but we're not to go on the giveaway train, but we are going to go on the giveaway train because whoever, if we have people who participate in the Off-Post League, there's going to be a prize at the end of the Premier League fantasy season. Whoever wins, I guess. I haven't quite decided what it's going to be yet, but some sort of your favorite NWSL, if you want a T-shirt or something like that, if you're from your favorite NWSL team, kind of mixing men and women's soccer in there, but that's something that we're going to do as a prize. So we're going to get that link to join on social media, but if there's anyone out there who is a fan of the Premier League and wants to get on that and get a chance to win some NWSL gear, look out for the link on our social media. We're going to get that going, and I don't want to call it the test run for like NWSL fantasy for next season, but ultimately that's probably a goal we're going to have too. But for now, in that off season, so join the league. It's kind of cool. I'll even send out reminders to change your roster. That's the biggest issue. People don't change their roster every week, so I will even send out reminders to change your roster. So look out for that link, and it's going to be a thing. So before we wrap up, we're going to bump back over to Graham. I think there's something else you wanted to add in real quick.
Don't just tweet off the post itself too. Tweet us individually. We'll all commune on the giveaway for reasons why. So see if you can win one of us over in particular, and we'll have a kind of council on who should come. So.
I'll give away a red cap to whoever wins. No, I'm joking.
All right.
So excited.
All right. So, if no one else has anything else to say, we'll wrap this up. I will let everyone know our next show is Monday at 6:30 p.m. We'll be talking about all those games we just previewed. We'll be talking about how they went. It could be some good conversation. So don't forget, while you're watching at home, hashtag WosoTalk. Send us some questions while you're watching, and we'll touch on them on Monday 6:30. On that note, I'm going to put this back on and say thanks for watching Off the Post. I'm your host, Courtney, Red Baseball Cap, not Fred Durst. I don't have another person I would be, but thanks for watching. Thanks for bearing with me and my first time hosting. Y'all are great. And catch us on social media. Wave, everyone. Bye, everyone.
Yup, red cap. Yup.